Well, it's nearly midnight and we're heading off in the van for a weekend away. We decided to leave late at night because Tim had a leaving do that he had to attend this evening. We could have left tomorrow morning, but last time we did that on a bank holiday, we ended up spending hours and hours and hours travelling all the way to Carnarvon in rush hour. So we decided we'd just head off as soon as Tim got home and just see how far we can get. We're heading off to Anglesey because we love it out there. I'm hoping to get there this evening, but we'll see. If I get too tired, we'll just pull over and sleep somewhere. That's the beauty of having a van like this. The bed's already made up in the back.
Well, we didn't need to stop. We made it all the way to the beautiful Llanddona Beach, arriving around 1 in the morning. It's given out decent weather today, so we're going to spend it chilling out and cooking on the beach. First job is to get the barbie going and make some bacon butties for breakfast. The next job is to make and bake a fresh loaf. I don't think we'll be eating this today though. We're going to have a picnic tomorrow, well that's the plan at least, so this will be for the sandwiches. Now if anyone's interested in outdoor cooking, you really can't beat the open fire set from Madog Outdoors. It's so light and so versatile. Earlier this morning we were frying up bacon with it. Now we're baking a fresh loaf in it, and later we're going to be making a shepherd's pie in it. All outdoors and all on the barbie. Really quite amazing what you can do on a barbecue with this fire set. We'll post a link to the website in the description, and if you use the discount code CLAUDE5, all capital letters, you can get a 5% discount if you wanted to buy yourself a set. Next we're going to cook a veggie shepherd's pie. We'll half cook it now and then wait till later when we're ready for tea to finish it off. Finally chop some onions, carrots and celery. Heat up some olive oil and then add the chopped vegetables. Add mushrooms, then add a big glug of red wine.
Every time you spill it. Like
14%.
Really?
I know, it doesn't taste like 14% one. No, what's it in? Surely.
It's in there.
Time to add the herbs and spices, and basically we just add whatever we've got lying around. It's a bit more sophisticated than that, but not much. We don't normally use vegetarian mince, but we've had this lying around in the freezer for ages, so thought we'd use it up. The spuds for the topping have been boiling for around 20 minutes or so, so it's time to mash them with a generous knob of butter. So top the pie filling with the mashed potatoes, and then top that with loads of cheese, and then we'll just leave this to sit for a while until we're ready to finish it off when we get hungry later on. Now, there are many things to love about camping on Llanddona Beach, but one of the things I really love the most is this little boardwalk. And that's because from spring through summer and into autumn, if you're lucky and the weather conditions are right, you can see these amazing little creatures basking out on the wooden posts. These are common or viviparous lizards. Now, I prefer to call them viviparous lizards because it sounds a bit more exotic, and to be honest, they're not all that common anymore, and most people go their entire lives without seeing one in the wild. Viviparous means that they give birth to live young rather than laying eggs, and that's one of the evolutionary adaptations that's helped this little lizard to thrive in the colder temperatures that we have in the UK, and why you can actually find them right up into the north of Scotland. In fact, in Northern Europe, where you can find them, and Asia, they survive even north of the Arctic Circle, which is quite an achievement for a cold-blooded reptile. Now, I'm not sure what sex these are, and to find out I'd probably have to catch them for a closer look. Now, I don't want to do that though, because I don't want to accidentally harm or damage them at all. And besides, it looks like this one has already had a close encounter with a predator or something like that. Now, you can tell that by its tail. Quite a few species of lizards have evolved the ability to self-detach their tails when they're threatened by a predator. The technical term for it is autotomy, and the idea is that when the lizard is attacked or threatened, it sheds its tail, which continues to wriggle really vigorously, and that distracts the predator and gives the lizard enough time to escape. Now, the tail will grow back again, but it's never quite the same, and you can see that quite clearly with this one. You can see there where the original tail ends and the new growth begins. These lizards that you can see here are all juveniles, so they were born last year around July sort of time, and they've been growing and maturing since. By the end of the summer and into autumn they'll be sub-adults, and then by next year they'll be fully mature adults ready to breed. Now this is an adult, and I'm pretty sure she's a female. Males have a really bright orange belly with black spots, and that colouring very often extends onto the neck and throat. Oh, look at that, right on time. She looks up and exposes her very pale white throat with no colour or markings at all, so I'm pretty sure she's a female. One final observation, if you look at how flat she can make herself, and that makes sure she can have as much of her surface area as possible exposed to the sun in order to maximise the amount of heat that she can absorb, which is another very clever adaptation for life in cooler to more temperate environments. So there you go, some magical little Welsh dragons, the common or viviparous lizard. Right, back to camping. Washing up, done. Wood chopped for the fire, so just time to chill out around the fire until we get hungry and get the tea back on. Just as we're getting ready to start cooking tea again, the wind changes direction and starts coming in from the north and across the sea, and that creates this really, really spooky, eerie mist. Amazing. We've added some chopped Brazil nuts to the topping of the pie. Now they were meant to go into the filling, but we forgot to put them in. Well, it's been another lazy morning, but it's time to liven up a little bit. Our original plan for today was to take a long walk and a picnic to White Beach, or Pentraeth as it's known locally. It's about a 3-mile walk and it requires walking up that steep headland there and over the hill, which is quite heavy going, and the forecast is for heavy showers and we don't really fancy getting drenched, so we decided to drive there instead. First though, it's time to test out the loaf we baked yesterday with some toast for breakfast. You used to be able to stay overnight at this car park. Not that we ever would. It's really small. There's only room for 2 or 3 vehicles, so it'd be unfair to take one space up from all the people who want to use it to visit for the day. But it is a sign of the times. More and more no overnight camping signs going up all over the country. So this is White Beach, or Pentraeth. It really is a beautiful little cove and limestone pebbled beach. It's not easy to get to. It's about a mile long single track road to get here, so you've got to hope you don't meet another vehicle coming the other way. And the steps down are rather rustic and not that easy to get down, but it really is worth the effort. You'll struggle to find, especially here in Anglesey, anywhere so tranquil and peaceful. Ooh, now here's something we weren't expecting to see down here. This is a really good edible mushroom, known in England and I'm guessing around the rest of Britain as the St George's mushroom, due to the fact that they start appearing in good numbers around the middle of April, which is around St George's Day in England. Now, not only is this a good edible mushroom, it's also a good mushroom for people who are fairly new to foraging, like me, as it's got some very distinctive identification features. Firstly and importantly, there really aren't many other mushrooms that look like this, or any at all actually that look like this, around at this time of year, especially not the very toxic ones like the amanitas. So that greatly reduces the likelihood of you misidentifying it. Secondly, you've got the colour, which is white to buff to sort of light brownish when they've been in the sun a little bit. The cap, which is dome shaped but uneven. It's not perfectly round domed, it's got lots of sort of unevenness to it. And then you've got the stem, which is usually quite stout and thick. You've then got the rim of the cap, which, as you can see, rolls inwards towards the gills, and then the gills themselves, which are very tightly packed. All good distinguishing features. But the most distinctive feature of the St George's mushroom is its smell. So let's see how Claude gets along with the smell test.
It smells like rotting corpses.
That's not what it's supposed to smell like. But yeah, it's a for you.
What's it supposed to smell like?
Well, you tell me what you think, seriously.
Oh, not much. It really doesn't smell much.
Okay. Break a bit off and smell it now, see if it's stronger. What do you think?
It smells like some sort of vegetable.
Okay.
Or fruit.
Watermelon?
Yeah.
Some people get watermelon.
No, you see, you're putting ideas in my head. I'm trying to smell.
Sawdust, some people, wet flour.
No, I don't know.
I
don't know.
Play-Doh.
No, not Play-Doh.
Plasticine.
No. Dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit, well there you go then. Brilliant. So that's the St George's mushroom, a really good edible mushroom. But no mushrooms for tea tonight. We've got a table booked at Spice Island at Menai Bridge. The food, I have to say, was very good, and if you're in this area, we can definitely recommend it. So we've got one night left on Anglesey, and it's time to head off to the final park up of the weekend. We don't really fancy the drive down to Llanddona again, particularly if we're going to get there late and not necessarily enjoy it too much. So we're going to stay at the beach car park at Pentraeth instead. So high tide tonight is actually a very, very low one at just 5.5 metres. And this is actually as close as he's going to get to the van tonight. So that means we don't have to worry about the car park flooding at all. Just really chill out and enjoy the warmth of the fire to the sound of the rain pattering on the canopy of the awning.
Glad you got a canopy, Claude.
Very glad I've got a canopy.
Oh dear, Tim's getting the guitar out. I think we should probably leave this one here. As ever, thanks for watching.